Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by Sportsman's Warehouse and the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency.
Hey, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray as we close out today's show. I made the mistake one time of saying as we close
Not
out,
only are we closing out the show, we're closing out the month.
We are closing out the month. Well, I hope so. It's November the 30th.
30th, yeah.
Yeah, so tomorrow, and golly. And thank you, Gene Smith, and
yes, sir.
And your other cohort here, Dave Gabbard, and of course Charlie Covington is over there. And we're going to close out the show. We're going to close out the show after this segment here with we are the only outdoor show that has a poet laureate, and we've got a great poem to close it out. Can't wait to hear it. But let's go to Oregon now. I know
go west, young man.
I know it's early
go
in
west.
Oregon. We were. Had hoped to get this young man on last week's show, had some scheduling changes we had to make, and he was good enough through my good friend Jonathan Harling of Gray Loom Marketing. Jonathan has done a great job over our 19 years on the air of getting us guests, and I wanted to talk to a little bit about workshop and some of the knife and tool sharpeners out of Ashland, Oregon, and who better to talk to than Josh Warren? He's the product expert, and here's what I like, and we'll talk about that. He is the Stoke ambassador for Workshop. Good morning, Josh.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. I'm glad to be here with you.
Yeah, thank you for being with us. And first of all, we might tell our listeners a little bit about Workshop because I know they're part of the Derricks family, and I read a lot about them, how they started back in Beecher, Illinois, back in '73. And we're in a fourth generation now, and I think it's Matthew. And now you're in Oregon. So talk a little bit about the company, and then let's jump into some possible Christmas gifts. Everybody knows I'm a knife fanatic, and I am a believer in making sure my knives are sharp.
Yep.
What's the reason to have a knife?
That's right.
If it's not sharp,
I noticed that by the number of Band-Aids you wear.
I do wear a lot of Band-Aids, and we're not. We might even ask. I like Josh has a way to test if a knife is sharp. We might mention that too.
Okay.
Get your thumb ready. Get your thumb ready. But
when you bleed a lot, that means it's sharp.
Yeah. Talk about the company, Josh.
All right. Well, you just said it. We started out in Illinois, and it was we're actually a welding company. It was Bernard Welding.
Welding.
And
okay.
Through that, innovation's been a key piece ever since the beginning, where we actually started making some tools to make welders' jobs easier.
Huh.
And I don't know too much about that long before my time, but slowly that moved into some sharpeners for large mills and CNC machines. And so we made industrial sharpeners, and that's the Derricks brand. And we still make some of those. We sell to customers, the automakers. Your Ford plants will have some of our Derricks sharpeners in them, and some aerospace manufacturers as well, like Boeing.
Right, yeah. And the name for the company gets to the initials of the three generations of the Bernard family. I was wondering
that's exactly right.
What I didn't realize what that was, but you guys have been in this business a long time. And and when you go to worksharptools.com, talk a little bit about where we are now and what you guys have got out there, maybe as possible Christmas gifts.
So from the old industrial sharpeners, we moved to drill bit sharpeners, and then quickly into knife sharpening. We really saw that as, from a business side, as a place that there was a lot more applications. Everyone has a knife,
yes.
Whether it's in the kitchen, whether it's in your pocket, and we built some really good technology around sharpening your knife, and that's a lot more the current era of where we're at right now, and. They do make great Christmas gifts. We can jump right there.
Yeah, because I understand that there's 5 new products. I read somewhere that you guys have come up with some new things for Christmas. What are some of the things that might be a possible Christmas gift?
We've got some excellent stocking stuffers.
There you go.
3 of the new sharpeners are called the Pivot series. There's a Pivot Plus, and a Pivot Pro.
Okay.
And these are starting at $3.95. $7.95 and $9.95.
Did y'all hear that?
Excellent.
That's my price range.
The price range is right in some of my guys' range here. All right, so that's that series. What else?
Mm-hmm. Then we have a micro sharpener, which is also in that low range. It's $10.
Okay.
And that's a cool one
that's
for
a
the
cool
knife
one.
fanatic.
Yes, yeah.
If you carry a pocket knife daily and you're messing with it, you're pulling it out for all sorts of stuff, you know that the clip gets a little bit loose, or maybe the action on there could get loose or too tight at sometimes. You got to clean out the pocket lint. This micro sharpener comes with 3 Torx bits, so that you can pull your knife apart and put it back together by loosening, tightening the fasteners.
My goodness.
So you're keeping your knife safe to use, and you can keep it sharp because it has a small ceramic rod and a small diamond abrasive rod.
Yeah.
So you can make some touch-ups to your knife and keep it sharp. Maintenance is the key with that one. It's not an aggressive sharpener, but it'll help keep you sharp.
Yeah, yeah. And I know that I know you. How long have you been with the company?
Oh, about 2 years.
2 years. All right. What does it mean by the Stoke ambassador?
So it's my job to make sure people get excited about our tool.
Okay, you're the man that stokes the fire, then, right? Is
there
that
you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's finding guys, and I go to some shows throughout the year, and luckily they let me give away some product here and there, and so my job is just to make sure the right people are excited and talking and sharing about some of our tools.
And I think we're going to get some of these giveaways. You're going to help me out there.
Yep,
a little
I got
bit.
some headed your way.
Yeah, and we're going to be having all that on LROutdoors.com. as part of our Christmas giveaways as we get closer to Christmas on Outdoors with Larry Ray. And I got to ask you about that, the way to tell a knife is sharp.
Yeah, so you hinted at there's a couple of ways.
All right.
So one would be like you're mentioning. You use the back of your thumb, so the thumbnail.
Back of your thumbnail.
And you set the edge of your knife on the thumbnail, and you maybe a little bit of an angle, not perfectly straight down, and then push it away from you. And if it catches, if it doesn't push, don't put too much force, but if it catches and doesn't push, then it's sharp. But if it slides off the end of your thumb, that means that edge isn't at a razor's point, and you gotta straighten it out or sharpen it and remove a little material to get back there.
All right, we're okay. Gene Smith just did that.
Mine works.
He still has his thumb.
How bloody?
He still has his thumb now, so I'm feeling like I was getting kind of nervous there. It was going to get bloody here for a while.
I've got a Band-Aid for him.
Yeah, but it works there. So that's one way. What's another way?
Uh-huh. The other one is to cut some paper.
Okay.
And hold up a piece of printer paper, notebook paper, something, and and take the knife maybe about a 45-degree angle, set it on the edge, and then push down and through the paper.
Okay.
And if it cuts the paper easily, then you've got a sharp knife. But if it starts tearing at it, then there's a little bit of work you can do to sharpen that back up.
Well, Gene just flunked that one. So I mean, I'd rather have the thumb than the paper. I mean, when it got to again, we're talking to Josh Warren. He's the product expert and the Stoke ambassador for our good friends at Workshop, part of the Derek's LLC, Knife and Tool Sharpeners in Ashland, Oregon. And I know that when I look at these things, you guys started a program early in the year that I was pretty excited about. Sharp Matters. I like that. Explain that to our listeners.
Well, just what you were saying earlier, if you're going to carry a knife, it may as well be sharp. And I think we count on a lot of things in our day where a knife is important and it has to be sharp. If you don't get out in the field, especially for us outdoorsmen, you don't get out in the field a couple miles in or maybe just down the canyon from the truck and you're field dressing an animal, and if you have a dull knife, you don't want to make the trek up and back, or you don't want to damage the meat, or you got to be able to get the hide off. Whatever the situation is, a sharp knife is important to the success that you want to have.
It matters.
Before he come out with this stuff, it was very hard to sharpen a knife.
Yeah.
But this stuff he has makes it so easy.
And and you have if you go to their website, you'll be amazed at how many products you guys have. I mean, you'd think, well, it's easy to sharpen. If you want it done right, and I'm the same way, I just got a new field dressing kit from a knife dealer that's a real good friend of mine, and he sent it to me. And I'm saying, well, does that come already sharp, or do I need to sharpen it more?
Right.
I'm of the opinion that I need to sharpen it more. Is that right, or is that logical?
Well, yeah, well, some new knives, it depends. They're sharpened a little different at the factory. Almost every knife is sharpened by hand, and so there is room for error.
Okay.
And I won't knock on any specific knife maker, either custom or manufactured, but sometimes there's some errors there, and
sharpen
there's room for improvement.
It doesn't hurt. Josh, thank you, buddy. We got to get out of here on a Saturday morning. This is Josh Warren. We appreciate you taking time to be with us. And again, folks, you can go to worksharptools.com and look forward to lroutdoors.com. We're going to have some products that Josh is going to send us as part of our Christmas giveaways back in December. Josh, thank you, buddy, and tell Jonathan thank you for setting this up. And you can go back to bed now in Oregon, okay? So,
yeah. Will do.
All right, buddy.
Thanks, guys. Have a great morning.
All right, thank you. All right, Josh Warren. Let me we're going to close out this show in just a second with Charlie Covington. Next week will be first Saturday. Gene Smith will be back.
I'm here a week early.
Gene Smith will be back and with us, and Bill Cooksey will be sitting in with us, and also we'll get from Dave down on the beach. As we talk,
I'll be coming back.
I'll be coming back from the beach, so good show for next week. But I want to close it out on this last fifth Friday of the year for our good friend Charlie Covington, who puts a lot of effort into this. We post all of his poems on lroutdoors.com. You just click on Charlie's poems right there, and you'll be able to listen to him. But this one is entitled again. Tell me, Charles.
It's called Silent Visitor.
Silent Visitor, and we're going to try to be silent as you do this, as we play a little music. This is Charlie Covington in Silent Visitor.
And I would like for our listeners just now to imagine being on a farm in a rural area, and it's kind of a dark day. It's cold, and there's livestock out in the field, and this is what's going on. It descended to earth very quietly, just a little bit right at first. A white peppering here and there, and no one was expecting the worst. It was that time of the year, so no one was really surprised. I wondered how long it would last. Excitement danced in the children's eyes. Slowly, the flakes became bigger, falling almost straight to the ground. From the dark, gray, wintry sky, getting fairly widespread in looking around. Falling on horses and cows in the pasture, on the fence posts and over the road, on the round bales left in the fields, on the scarecrow's hat recently sewed, on neighboring friends at the mailbox, just chatting and trying to catch up, snow falling on them and their hats, on the yellow lab and her frisky pup. It was hypnotic to pause and to watch, and I listened, but never a sound. Snow fell on the yard and the pathway, slowly covering our parcel of ground. Snow fell on my shoulders and head. For a second, I saw geometric designs. I realized no two flakes are exactly alike, and with all those flakes, it just blew my mind. Is snow on your head an anointing? It is given and comes from above. Did I do anything to deserve it? It is from God's hand and His love. A blessing in thought, this anointing, much preferred to the fireplace ash, which lands on the hearth, the floor, and my shirt, and other places it chooses to trash. Snow can cover all that is seen, even creep right in through the cracks. In time, it can get crunchy and hard, as walking and traffic cause it to pack. Is snow somehow for a cleansing? It transforms the dirty to white. And if Mr. Sun should choose to peek out, the landscape would appear glistening bright.
As only Charlie Covington could do. This is Larry Ray reminding you, as I do each and every week, it doesn't cost an extra cent to be a good sport. And what else, guys?
God bless the USA.